Hello and welcome to Capitol Review. I'm Mark Hall. D.C.'s Attorney General is attempting to push National Guard troops out of the district again, filing a lawsuit against the president and members of his administration, calling the Guard's deployment in D.C. illegal. Attorney General Brian Schwalb's latest lawsuit against the Trump administration came just a day after some National Guard troops had their orders in D.C. extended through December. The suit also comes a few days before the president's crime emergency is set to expire. About 2,300 troops have been supporting law enforcement out on patrol in D.C., some carrying long guns and other weapons, while others take part in beautification projects. Under the president's executive order, Councilmember Robert White sharing his support for the AG's lawsuit during a prayer vigil at Freedom Plaza. Well, joining Capitol Review is Dr. Robinson Woodward-Burns, a political science professor at Howard University. Professor, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
We're always glad to have you. As you're well aware, D.C.'s Attorney General Brian Schwalb filing the suit against the Trump administration. What is he alleging, and does he have legs to stand on?
That's a great question. So Donald Trump deployed National Guard troops throughout the District of Columbia. Because the district is not a state, it lacks a governor, and so the United States president has authority over the district National Guard. Now, the Guard is prohibited under federal law, which applies throughout the United States, in the district and in the states. The president is prohibited from using the Guard for domestic law enforcement. That is prohibited under the Posse Comitatus Act. It's a really important division or line between civil and military enforcement. This is something that's really important in a democracy. A federal judge blocked Trump's use of the National Guard for law enforcement in California, citing the Posse Comitatus Act. And shortly after that, D.C.'s Attorney General Brian Schwalb looked at that case and filed a similar suit alleging that the Posse Comitatus Act prohibits deployment of the Guard for law enforcement purposes in the district.
There's still a lot of uncertainty moving forward. What comes next? The president may ask Congress to extend the takeover another 30 days. That would obviously require both approval from the House and Senate. Where does that stand right now?
So the president had been considering extending his control over policing in the District of Columbia under the Home Rule Act in Section 740. The president can control for a 30-day period D.C.'s own Metropolitan Police Department. Trump's coming up to the end of that period, and so there was some talk in Congress of extending this through a joint resolution. Congress ultimately decided not to do that after the district's mayor, Muriel Bowser, said that she would cooperate with President Trump and federal law enforcement, albeit with the caveat she asked that the National Guard be removed from the district.
Let's talk about the mayor receiving some criticism about her cooperation with the Trump administration. Professor, she's in a tough spot.
She has relatively few legal tools to resist the president. President Trump could simply abolish D.C.'s home rule government, including the office of the mayor, if it chose to. And there was recently a bill introduced to do just that in Congress. So Mayor Bowser, unlike other mayors, has relatively few tools for resisting Trump. She doesn't have a governor, for example, that can control the National Guard within her city, unlike other mayors in other locations. It is nonetheless politically a pretty risky move. 92% of the city's population voted for the Democratic presidential candidate just a year ago. And 80% of the district's population, according to a recent survey by the Washington Post and George Mason Schar School, was opposed to deployment of federal law enforcement in the district. So she's doing something that really runs against the sort of interests and opinions of her constituents.
Professor, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.